Welcome back everybody to Test Drive Unlimited 2. I'm your host Valenfor, and in today's episode we are going to finish off by doing the Ohio tour. So let's get started. 123.2 miles to go.
Tick tock, tick tock.
Final race in the game.
Time is passing by and we need to hurry up. Let's meet the candidates for this timed challenge.
Let's get this done and dusted. It's going to be a fairly long race, guys. Got best time to do it in 57 minutes 52 seconds. It's just shy of an hour. I'm guessing that it's going to take us nowhere near as long as that, but you never can tell, and with my track record of crashing into nearly everything, who knows. You would have thought though that they would let you race it at least in daylight so you could see the the terrain and everything, but no, it's in pitch darkness at the moment. So fingers crossed I'm actually going to be able to see the other cars on the road. But every cloud and all that, at least it's not raining in game. Now with the speed that we're doing at the moment, and if it was to remain constant, this would take us approximately 30, I'm going to say about 38 minutes perhaps. Maybe less than that. But of course, best will in the world, we're not going to be able to retain a top speed of 200 around the entirety of this track. So I'm going to hazard a guess. I actually asked a friend of mine earlier, I said, look, if I was racing this in this car, this many miles, how long do you think it would take you? And he's come up with the answer of 39 minutes. So he did say somewhere in between 39 and 40 minutes. I don't think we're going to get anywhere near that, if I'm perfectly honest with you. You never know. I've got, my gut feel is telling me 9 minutes off that time. So I reckon we're going to be looking at about 46. Whoa! Already come off the road. There we go. 46 minutes all in, and that's on the optimistic side. Bearing in mind that, as you've just seen, we're going to make mistakes. It's going to essentially take us, perhaps, wouldn't take us quite as long if we didn't make any mistakes, but everyone knows my track record. I'm bound to make a few mistakes here and there, which is going to end up slowing us down a little bit. But we've already passed through our first checkpoint, so that's 6 miles down. At the time we pass through the next checkpoint, we'll be over 10 miles down, I think, in total. I'm rather hoping we're going to end up hitting a nice long stretch of freeway at some stage along this. I didn't actually notice how many seconds ahead of time we were through the first checkpoint, but I'm sure we'll take a look as we come through the next one, which is coming up just under 1.1 miles now. Ooh, we've got a bend, there we go. Ooh, nice. Yeah, good. Good. What have we got here? Okay, so we're already 1 minute ahead of time. So, although we've only passed through 2 checkpoints so far out of 51, that's incredible. We're averaging about, I guess, 40 seconds off time per checkpoint. Now, judging by the fact that we've only actually passed through 2 checkpoints, that's can't really gauge whether that's going to continue or God. Well, not like that, it's not. We're now going backwards. Great. Let's get back on the road. Okay. Wow. Okay, so that has just slowed us down there. Nice. Gotta love the physics engine in this game. In real life, if you land a car on all four wheels, I'm pretty sure, well, I didn't really notice how fast we were travelling there, but I'm pretty sure you would stay on all four wheels. Okay, so only a couple of extra seconds got shaved off the time there, but as long as I don't make another jump or bounce back like we had at that hitting that post, and we continue onwards, we should be able to trim some more time off there. So at the moment, based on what we've done so far, we're looking to finish in approximately 56 minutes and what's that, 20 seconds maybe? Oh, sod it, let's just get past that lorry that's behind us there. There we go. And of course, as you know from the Ibiza race that I did, there's no penalty for coming off or hitting stuff. So I'm going to take that and use that to our advantage, and if we end up coming across nasty bends, but we can cut corners, then I will do, as that will end up trimming off some of the time as well. Now I do know that I was saying in the previous episode about new videos coming to the channel, specifically, you know, me doing new series, and the fact that obviously we've had one racer, break it up with something else, and I'm wanting to do Gun, which is one of my all-time favourites, again from when I was growing up. And it's a game that I don't think many people will know, perhaps. So it's an old school western. It is old, I'm not going to lie to you. It's it hasn't quite stood the test of time. It's a 2006 release. But the storyline is really, really good. I thoroughly enjoy it. It's got an amazing soundtrack to it. It's going to set the scene eventually for when I do a playthrough of Red Dead Redemption, which will be coming to the channel at some stage. And you've got to remember that you know, past wise in terms of Western games, before the likes of Call of Juarez and Red Dead Redemption, we had Gun. There had been other Western games before it, but not to the same scale, and well, in any case, I think it's going to make a good addition to the channel. So I'm looking forward to playing that, and I'm hoping that people are going to be looking forward to me playing it as well. Right, that slowed us down somewhat. Okay. Well, okay, so we're 2 minutes 37 seconds ahead of time at the moment. That makes a nice change from being only a couple of seconds ahead of time on these time trials, but I haven't quite noticed what we're averaging between checkpoints at the moment. But we're already 9 minutes into this, guys. Almost 10. We're only at checkpoint 7. So that's a little over a minute per checkpoint so far. And that isn't going to change as we pass through the next one. He says I'm going to need to slow down for this, I'm sure. Get out of my way, there we go. Alright, so we just tagged at 3 minutes under time. And we're not exactly doing this fast, so imagine how slow the AI must have been travelling. They must have really slowed down for every single corner. It's incredible. Because one thing they did say was that the times... Wow, that was impressive. Okay, the times that are set by the game aren't actually... Oh, come on. Weren't actually set by the developers. Interesting fact for you. But they were actually set by the computer when the developers told the AI, you know, where to race. They gave them checkpoints and everything, just like we've got to run through here as well. And they said, right, you know, avoid traffic, avoid this, that and the other, slow down for corners, speed up on the straights, everything else, just try and get from this point to this point as quickly as you can. And those are the times that the AI managed to set. So there you go, a little bit of trivia for you there. Not very interesting, I know, but still. Whereas, you know, other games, they do just the developer just puts in a time, and that is the time you've got to beat. I do remember I was playing Grid 2 a little while ago. Again, very good game, good racer. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was somewhere in between a true... Oh my god. True... Oh my god? No. It was... Oh god. Right, okay. It was somewhere in between a true simulation racer and an arcade racer. You know. So, kind of a bit like, oh my god, what's wrong with me? Come on. Okay, so somewhere like this game is, you know, realism and arcade. This is a little bit more arcade than realism. Grid 2, I think, is a little bit more realism than arcade, but it's still got arcade elements nonetheless. Now, I got very far, in my eyes, through the game. I was close to the end of the game, and one particular race came up. I think it was one of the ones where basically what happens is you've got your own cars, and then a manufacturer will request that you run a race in one of their vehicles, and you have to get from A to B as quickly as possible and beat the time that you were given. And there were so many bends on this one race, and I had to knock the difficulty down from what I was playing on, which was just a bit higher than normal. Yeah, I think it had around 5 difficulty levels. So yeah, I was playing it just a bit higher than normal. I had to knock it all the way down to easy, the lowest level, to try and attempt to beat this one race. I couldn't do it. Could not do it. It was just too hard. And that is the first time ever that I have given up on a video game. There have been other times, of course, when I've wanted to give up with the video game, but I've persevered on, continued past my better judgment, really. Some of them were just terrible games. Some of them are really good games, they're just nails hard. So, for example, Night Contract, I don't know if anyone that's watching knows that game, but you should take a look at some footage on YouTube for Night Contract. It's a game about a knight. It was an RPG, action-adventure type of game. The premise of the story itself was that this knight basically has to go to an area where the Black Plague, I think, Black Death or something had hit, and kill this witch. But instead, when he gets there, it turns out that the witch hasn't actually caused it, and if he was to kill the witch, it would actually bring about the apocalypse, I think was the idea in the game. So he ends up, oh come on, he ends up actually protecting her instead. But you could die, and you could die very easily in this game, and a lot of the boss battles you would get right near to the very end of the boss battle. There'd been no checkpoints whatsoever. You would have tried again until eventually you got the battle, you know, the basics, the movements and everything else. You understood the mechanics of the fight. You'd get right to the very end, you were about to annihilate this boss, and you'd get a quick time event that you'd have to complete. Now, I know that a lot of you who play video games as well will understand the premise of quick time events, and you know, it helps you to feel immersed in the game that you're playing, and you know, sometimes those quick time events aren't really what you refer to as quick at all. It just requires you to mash the hell out of your controller until you succeed. And Call of Duty's had them, Fear has had them. I don't think there are many games that don't end up having quick time events these days. But you get what I'm saying. Now, the quick time events in this game would flash up on the oh my god. Sorry. They would flash up on the screen. You would have literally a millisecond to see what it was that the game was expecting you to press, and press it, or you would die, and you'd have to start the boss fights all over again. And let me tell you, that was an absolute nightmare. Now, I completed that game on the medium setting. I did not do it on easy, because I'm not a bitch. I did it on medium. Medium was the hardest difficulty that was available to me. I did not change the difficulty once whilst playing it, and upon completing the game I unlocked the Knight's difficulty. Now, I have said that the only game I've ever given up on is Grid 2, and as I'm sure you guys will be aware by now, as I've mentioned previously, I'm somewhat of a completionist when it comes to games, specifically on the consoles where achievements and trophies are involved. I try to platinum every single game that I buy. If I believe that the platinum is either unobtainable to me specifically, or it's just too much, too much effort to platinum, then I won't bother. Because, you know, if you spend far too much time playing one game, you're going to miss out on some of the other stuff that's out there. So, although I am a completionist to some points, I'm not anal about completing a game to 100%. I'll get the most out of it that I feel I can, and then I will move on. But one of the things was that, obviously, with the Knight's Contract game, was once you completed it on medium, it would unlock another difficulty. You would play through on this difficulty and it would unlock one final difficulty. If you completed it, if you managed to complete it on that difficulty level, you didn't unlock any further difficulties, but what you did unlock was, I think it was referred to as minute mode or ultimate night mode or something, where basically you then had to go and play through on the hardest difficulty yet again, but with only one life. So essentially hardcore mode. Now, that was something I was not going to be going to do, so I didn't. The game got traded in. Oh god, there we go. Already off the road again. Yeah, the game got traded in, and I think I picked up something else. It might have even been Black Ops at that point. But yeah, it was incredible. And then of course there's the likes of Demon Souls and Dark Souls. Those games nails hard again. I don't think I've once seen anybody, and I will end up checking this afterwards just to see if someone has actually done it yet, but I've never ever seen one person yet play that game and not die. In fact, at one point I think that you do actually have to die in order to continue the story, so but I would be very impressed to see if someone has actually completed Dark Souls or Demon Souls or Dark Souls 2 in fact now, from start to finish, and by finish I mean just one playthrough, but from the very beginning of the game, so not with an existing character, with a brand new fresh character without dying. So anyway, I've spoken about that for a little bit too long. So moving on then, how are we getting on here? We have 15 checkpoints out of 51 down. Way! We've reset to track. I think that's probably the 5th time now. We keep banking off of trees and the like. We've got 3.1 miles to go to our next checkpoint, and I believe we are about, I think when last I looked it was about 4 minutes ahead of time. I'm not sure if that's right. I will need to keep an eye when we pass through the next checkpoint, if we get there intact, that is, of course. We are slowing down a little bit here though. But still, at least it's daylight now. You can actually see where we're going. I wonder actually how far around we are, because in terms of time I think we're coming up around about the halfway mark time wise, or thereabouts perhaps. Okay, 5 minutes ahead of time, that's good. Yeah, time wise I'm pretty sure we're coming up on the halfway mark. I really don't think it's going to take us anywhere near 57 minutes. I really don't want it to take 50 minutes, but if it does, then you know, so be it. But let's say on the basis it's 50 minutes. It won't be, but let's just say it's 50 minutes. We will be coming up on the halfway mark time-wise very shortly. Now we're still coming up on, you know, around 2 mile, 3 mile, 5 mile difference in, you know, distance between checkpoints. Now that's kind of fairly long differential with distances. Whee! Just banked off the top of that car, that was awesome. But really, you know, if we're over halfway and yet we haven't hit the halfway point with the checkpoints yet, you've got to think that perhaps they're going to end up throwing us checkpoints coming at the end of this race, you know, like one after another in quick succession. So far they've been pretty spaced out. Wow, okay, that was definitely a signpost there. I'm surprised we even managed to slow down for the bend somehow. Right, okay, so almost 6 minutes ahead of time now. Oh god, I'm attracted to lampposts, that must be it. And what I mean by that isn't in the sexual sense, that is my car must have a magnet at the front of it or something. Deary me. I really need to think before opening my mouth, don't I? Okay, so here we go. We definitely hit the halfway point in time-wise now. We are coming up on checkpoint 19. Wow, okay. Got just under a mile to get there. Oh my god. Wow. Yeah, there we go. We didn't actually make any time there. I think that was almost exactly the same as the time through the last checkpoint. So we need to try and speed up. Hopefully there's just a nice long straight coming up now. But of course, no my luck, there'll be a massive bend. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. What is this? Okay. Cool, cool. Okay. Let's keep on trucking. Finding quite a few shops during this race, so that's cool. We'll also get a lot of exploration points at the end of this race as well. Not that that's going to make much of a difference, because of course this is for us the last race in the game, and this is going to be the end of the series. When we eventually finish this race. I know some people were wanting us to do some like online stuff, like creating a club and filling in members, perhaps doing some online races. But unfortunately, although there is still an element of online to this game, the online community itself isn't quite what it used to be, and it's essentially almost dead. But still, the single player element is fun, right? Okay, so here we go. Slow down for this bit. 6 minutes and 36 seconds ahead of time. Fantastic. I am almost certain that my friend was a little bit optimistic with his idea that we would finish this in 39 minutes. Perhaps an actual race driver might be able to finish this, but certainly do not think that we are going to finish this in 39 minutes. And okay, here we go. We're coming up on our next checkpoint already. That's nice. That wasn't. Okay. Oh my god. How are we getting on? Okay. Shaved off another 15 seconds there. So that's cool. Oh, 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 oh. Wow. Okay. Just under 2 miles to the next checkpoint. think I remember this from a speed run that we had to do a number of episodes ago. It was a number of episodes ago now. Incredible. Right, I'm getting on 1.2 miles until next checkpoint. Fantastic. You see now, look, we're already we're coming up on 30 minutes now, and we've still not hit the midway point for checkpoints. So I can only assume that we're going to end up having like 10 or even maybe 15 checkpoints all in a row right at the very end of this, because that's almost 7 minutes ahead of time. That's good. Yeah, I don't understand. No! Oh, okay, we're still on the road, good. Yeah, there's just too many more checkpoints to pass through, and time-wise, I reckon we're going to be coming in to the finish line in 17 minutes from now. That is my prediction. And I'm sure I'll be wrong, but not nearly as wrong as my friend. Please, 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 just be a nice long stretch of straight here. No nasty corners, please. To see if we can hit this car's top speed. Oh no, not like that, we're not going to. Not with this massive bend, we're not going to. Right, okay, what's going on here? Okay, there we go. Here we go. Seven minutes and 30 seconds, or thereabouts. Way ahead of time. That's cool. Now you see, 3 miles to the next checkpoint, and we've only just hit the, well, no, sorry, next checkpoint will be the halfway point. Come on. I'm not sure what the state of our car is going to be at the end, but it's not going to look anything like how it looked when we first started, I'm sure. And already I'm actually getting pins and needles in one of my hands from holding this controller. That's not good. It is the right hand though, guys, so don't worry too much. I'm definitely not suffering from a heart attack here. Right, okay. Coming up on checkpoint 26. Seven minutes and 43 seconds, so we've gained about an extra, well, I don't think it's much actually, it's probably about 7 seconds since the last checkpoint. I do recognise this road though, I'm pretty sure we've been down here in a race. Whoa! Hey ho! Okay. Where are we going now? Map says straight on. We are coming up on our next checkpoint though. Are we going to have hit 8 minutes ahead of time though? Let's. Whoa, see. Almost, not quite. We actually just had to switch there. pretty sure we're not on the road we need to be, but never mind. It's saying we can continue down here, so that's fine. So we will. I probably do actually want to be on the other side of the road, but never mind. Well, jeez, can't be dodging traffic as well. Okay, never mind. Let's just continue on the basis that I can hopefully dodge stuff as it appears in front of me. As long as, of course, it doesn't just spawn in front of me. I've had that happen before. Okay, let's just cross over there. 8 minutes and only wow, we gained an additional 6 seconds there, guys. That's brilliant. And as per my prediction, I said that we would be finished a little while ago in 17 minutes. That is about 5 minutes ago, I think, approximately. So 12 minutes to go, guys, is how long I reckon it will take us. Just hit checkpoint 30 there, so we have 21 checkpoints to go. Still seems like such a lot though, doesn't it, really? And yet I know we've, ouch, driven a long way so far. So as people might or might not necessarily be aware at the moment, E3 is actually going on right as we speak. Do you like E3? Oh god, don't like getting turned around by a wall though. Yeah, E3. And one thing that I did tell myself a long time ago, when I was contemplating actually starting up this channel, was that if I did videos I wouldn't talk about current events, because once you guys watch it and eventually, you know, later on in life, as these videos pick up some traction, they get watched, you know, much later on. It won't anymore be current, will it? Of course. But oh no, I remember this road. Okay, we're upside down. Brilliant. Terrible. Yeah, I did say that I wouldn't talk about current, you know, affairs. However, it's on topic. It's regarding games. So let's just get into it, and it gives us something to talk about whilst I'm driving around this massive island. So, E3, what has been announced so far? Well, we've had a few bits and bobs from Microsoft and Sony. Microsoft, interestingly, have apparently, well, they've said they're essentially axing support for the Kinect. Now, I don't have an Xbox, never have. That's not to say I never will. But one of the big things I remember from when they released the Xbox One just under a year ago was the fact that they forced everybody, when purchasing the Xbox One, to pick it up with, well, it came with, of course, the Kinect, didn't it? And you know, it was on the, or rather, they made everyone aware of the presence of the Kinect and said, you know, there is a reason for you purchasing this with the Kinect, and the idea is that the Kinect, whilst it's kind of been in development with the 360, and I know it was available for what, almost 2 years, I think. But let's face it, the Kinect on the Xbox 360 was more like a beta, kind of, really. It was really in preparation for the Xbox One. And the whole idea was that, you know, developers would create more content that would utilize the Kinect. Now, what actually ended up being the case was that although some developers said it was an innovation, and a lot of them said that they would end up looking at doing something with Kinect, more developers ended up playing with it back in the Xbox 360, and a lot of them came back and said, actually, do you know what? We prefer the controller. And other than perhaps voice commands that, let's face it, you could probably do just via a microphone anyway, you don't really see the benefit of this big black boxy item. So essentially, E3 this year, Microsoft have said they're going to can that. You know, it will still be there, and potentially there could still be some developers that end up developing with the Kinect in mind. You know, the likes of Dance Party and stuff like that, that actually require something to be looking at what you're doing. But overall, they're not pushing it anymore. They're not planning. Exclusive-wise, there was the whole thing with regards to the Master Chief Edition of Halo. That's Halos 1, 2, 3 and 4, all contained in one glorious HD re-release. Now that actually sparked my interest. As I said, I've never I've never owned an Xbox. That's not to say that I never will. And the reason I say that potentially I could look at buying an Xbox, I've always been interested in the Halo games. I did play the original on the PC because surprisingly it was actually out on the PC. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I would love to play it again in high def quality. That would be amazing. But of course, can I justify the expense? We will see. There's also the Fables Legends game that has been announced as well. That does also look rather interesting. But again, can I justify the expense? We will see. In any case, there's also the likes of Forza racing game. Very good. It's essentially Microsoft's version of Sony's Gran Turismo. Some people swear by Gran Turismo, some swear by Forza. I've played Gran Turismo, quite like it. I'm not really into the realism scene anyway when it comes to driving games. I much prefer the arcade style of racer. However, if I'm going to play a realistic game, it would be either Gran Turismo or Forza, if I'm honest. So there we go, there's that. Sony, on the other hand, have announced something I'm very excited for. They have announced Uncharted 4. Really looking forward to that. When that eventually does come out, I believe it's scheduled for 2015. That will make it onto this channel. That's going to end up being a series. They announced a multiplayer addition to Killzone, a separate standalone mission setting for Infamous, which I believe is called First Light. Although it's not a Sony exclusive, Far Cry 4 has been announced. That looks amazing. Really looking forward to that. Again, that will most likely end up finding its way on this channel at some stage. Whee, there we go, left the road again. Wow, nice, look at that. Parked it inside someone's house. Okay. Yeah, so that looks good as well. And there's a couple of other games that I'm really looking forward to that were announced. Nintendo's was a little bit stale, if I'm honest, with regards to their press conference. They did announce, ouch, they they did announce a brand new Zelda that did look fairly good, I must admit. But and again, I'm not bad mouthing it, so please don't start a flame war on this video. The Wii U, I feel, is most definitely a family orientated console. It's designed for party games, let's be honest. It's not going to be competing with the likes of PC or Xbox One or PlayStation 4. Graphics wise, you know, it can't handle any of the stuff that's being thrown around by the bigger consoles. So I think essentially, I'm not saying it's dead. That's definitely one thing I'm not saying. There's a lot of life left. Wow! What is with me tonight? I just love wrecking my car. That was a fairly incredible barrel roll though. No, I'm not saying Nintendo are dead, far from it. But their console shouldn't be seen as a competitor to the big boys, because it's really not. But in any case, they had certainly some decent ideas. And at the present point in time, E3 certainly hasn't finished. It's still going. We've had the likes of Doom. The brand new Doom has been teased. We've had Dead Rising. Not Dead Rising, sorry, that was last year. Dead Island 2, which looks brilliant. It's being made by a new developer or new producer, I can't remember which. But the trailer to that looked really brilliant. It's it was only it wasn't a gameplay trailer, it was just a kind of a cinematic trailer, but that was really entertaining. I really enjoyed that. And yeah, just quickly guys, I don't think we're going to come in at 47 minutes somehow. So my prediction's already out the water. Anyway, it's a lot closer than 39 minutes though. So what was I getting at here? Oh yeah, so yeah, Dead Island 2, that looks quite fun. That's actually set now. Oh my god, barrel rolling in the car for days. That's set, I think, in California, I read. So that looks kind of cool. That's definitely, again, something that will probably find its way onto this channel. And what else have we got? We have the inclusion of, I think there was a new Grid, another racing game touted. Oh yes, one I'm very, very excited for, the re-release of Grim Fandango for the PlayStation 4. Now that one is a PlayStation exclusive. And wow, okay, does this count as 47 minutes? Yes. Okay, maybe I was right then. 47 minutes, fantastic. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet now.
This time there will be no rematches. It's the end of this year's Solar Crown. Thank you for watching, and congratulations again to our winner, who walks away with the ultimate racing car. If you meet them in town, why not challenge them to a duel? Who knows? Maybe next time it could be you who wins. See you soon for a new season of Solar Crown, taking place at... Shh, it's a secret.
Deary me. Alright, let's just drive around a tiny bit in this. We have already driven one of these though before. So yeah, just quickly then, as I was saying, re-release of Grim Fandango. I'm a massive fan of the Grim Fandango game. Again, another game that I was brought up playing. It's not quite that old though, but point and click adventure type of game, and I loved it. Set, or rather it's features character called Manny Calavera, and he is a salesman pitching ways to travel the land of the dead. It's kind of set in Mexico, I think, but an undead version of Mexico. It's fantastic. It is brilliant. It's one game that you've definitely got to see above all else. So that is most definitely going to be on this channel. So guys, this is I'm sorry to say, actually the end of Test Drive Unlimited 2. It's been a fun ride. It's certainly been entertaining for me, crashing into a load of stuff and flipping my car and all sorts. I really hope everybody has enjoyed watching this series. So I would just like to say, obviously one final time for this series at least, that if you have liked this rather long race, then please leave a like. Please comment as well, as I love to hear what everyone has to say. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Please subscribe, as it helps to build the channel overall. And if you have come in at this, the last of the series, then why not start from the beginning, as no doubt I know you will end up enjoying it immensely. I'm just going to take this guy out, just like that. So as I've said, enjoy those meals guys. Thanks and good night, much love, and I will see you in a new series to come very soon. Take care, bye.